Hello, I've got your energy stories for the third week of December 2021. In the first one, yet another example of the fragility of our current grid, ISO New England CEO warned that New England may run short of power this winter and have to resort to rolling blackouts if we have an extended cold snap. In the case of New England, the concern is related to availability of natural gas, which ISO CEO Gordon Van Wely warned is in short supply, shorter than normal. Limited pipeline capabilities create an issue where there's insufficient gas for both power generation and home heating. We're depending, he said, on an energy supply chain in the region that is quite fragile, particularly during the wintertime. Offshore wind will become an increasingly large portion of that New England energy mix, as last week Massachusetts awarded 1,232 megawatts of offshore wind to Commonwealth Wind Development, owned by Copenhagen Infrastructure Partners and Avangrid Renewables, and also awarded an additional 400 megawatts to the Mayflower Wind project, which is owned by Shell and Ocean Winds, a JV between Engie and EDP Renewables. Further south and on the same day, the Maryland Public Service Commission approved 1,654 megawatts of offshore wind there, awarding credits to U.S. Wind's 808.5 megawatt Momentum Wind project and Ørsted's 846 megawatt Skipjack Wind 2 project, both of those expected to be operational by 2026. And while New England deals with gas supply chain issues, a different supply chain challenge is hampering the solar industry and is expected to do so well into the coming year. Last week, the Solar Energy Industries Association announced that next year's solar installations will grow by about 25% less than had previously been forecast. Before hitting that speed bump, the industry had been progressing nicely, installing 5.4 gigawatts just in Q3 alone of this year, up 33% year over year. Supply chain issues and associated rising costs are expected to be a problem for a while, though, with cost declines of the past 2 years now being largely eliminated as the prices of the input materials continue to soar. Perhaps a bigger challenge, though, to the U.S. solar industry is the proposed change in net energy metering recently proposed by the California Public Utilities Commission. The proposed framework would create a new net billing tariff requiring solar customers to use time-of-use rates, creating incentives to add storage. Existing net meter customers would also be transitioned to a new tariff after 15 years of installation. There would be a bill credit for customers adding storage systems, but also a monthly fixed fee of $8 per kilowatt of installed solar. The justification offered by the PUC is that they want to minimize cross-subsidies paid by those customers who do not have solar to those who do, and they also want to increase the amount of energy storage on the system. The reaction of many solar installers and many environmental groups was decidedly negative, while the utilities generally applauded the decision. At the same time, California's Clean Energy Commission has revised its building efficiency standards, now mandating that all commercial and multifamily homes must be equipped with energy storage, while only residential construction, which already mandates solar, must be storage ready. The Commission estimates that these rules may lead to as much as 400 megawatt hours of new behind-the-meter annual storage installations. And finally, some interesting bits of news from the modular nuclear industry. First, GE Hitachi Nuclear Energy, BWRX Canada Limited, and Synthos Green Energy announced a plan to cooperate in developing a minimum of 10 BWRX 300 megawatt small modular reactors in Poland by early in the next decade. And then it was also announced last week that modular nuclear manufacturer NuScale Power has signed a merger agreement with Valley Acquisition Corp to go public via SPAC, expected to close in the second half of 2022. NuScale's plans include 77 megawatt modules that can be daisy-chained, with the first project slated for Romania in 2027-2028 and in Utah about a year later. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week. Take care.